We're here to worship. We're here to worship Jesus because that's the hope of these cities. That's the hope of the world is Jesus Christ.
I want to be very respectful. Please don't push me though.
We're here to worship Jesus.
Yes.
That's why we're here.
Yeah.
Okay. That's why we're here.
Okay.
That's what we're about.
Don't you think Jesus would be understanding and love these folks?
We're about spreading the love of Jesus.
But did you try to talk to them as a
no
Christian?
one is willing to talk.
A lot of folks have been doing something very powerful lately. A lot of folks have been ignoring the noise. And see, once you ignore the noise long enough, you start to see it. You start noticing how ridiculous the circus really is. So suddenly, everywhere you look, for some reason, I'm seeing Don Lemon again. Not because something important happened, but because the machine needed a familiar face. That's how it works. And this is not even really about Don Lemon. It's about how the same figures keep getting rolled out right on schedule. Different headline, same outrage, perfect timing every time. And here's the trick they don't want you to notice. When attention starts drifting towards real problems, they light up the stage. And you know what real problems I'm talking about. But they'll go ahead and insist on a culture fight. A viral moment, a familiar personality saying something inflammatory on television, and they'll roll a clip over and over and over and over again, not to inform you, but to capture you, capture your attention, grab you, get you emotional, get your energy. They need your energy. Don Lemon is just an example. He's just a recognizable face with a history of quote unquote polarizing moments, who's now suddenly back in the spotlight. But the key is, that's not accidental. Now that's utility. Once you detach emotionally, the illusion begins to break. You realize that Don Lemon is not a journalist. And this is not journalism. He's not an activist, and this is not activism. He's not even a person who has honest conversations. So this is not a conversation. It's all just a performance. Paid for, timed, and amplified. You see, outrage is currency now. Anger keeps people scrolling. Fear keeps people divided. Chaos keeps people distracted. And distraction is big money, baby. It's big profit, baby. See, notice how fast the story changes. Today, it's this outrage. Tomorrow is a new one. Yesterday's crisis is already forgotten unless yesterday's crisis is a crisis that they can use once again, repurpose once again to pull you back in. That's the design. You are not meant to resolve anything. You're meant to stay activated. Meanwhile, in the background, real life is happening. Someone right now is recovering from surgery, probably somebody you know. Someone right now across the street is celebrating a birthday. Someone right now is trying to hold their family together. But the machine wants you glued to their circus instead. But here's the move they don't expect. Stop arguing. Stop reposting this stuff. Stop spiraling and getting angry and going crazy about this stuff. Give it no energy. That's not apathy. That's simply mental discipline. You see, real conversations don't start with humiliation. No, they don't start with rage. That's a person that's out of control. They don't start with manufactured conflict. Real conversations start with humility. They start and end with listening, with actual human connection. Once you see the circus for what it is, it stops working on you. The lights don't hypnotize you anymore. The performers, they lose their power. And suddenly, peace feels rebellious. Turn the noise off. Put your energy where it actually matters. That's how you win. That's how we win.